Let us discuss angular momentum in the case of rolling. Before that, let us see how we write angular momentum expression for any object which has both translation and rotation. Here I am showing a spherical object. It has a mass m, radius r, and a moment of inertia I, center of mass, about its center of mass. Now, this vector here, it shows the velocity of the object. It is moving along this line. It has translation. Also, it is rotating. That is indicated by the omega here. Now, as we see it, it is clockwise for us. Now, for such an object, how do you write angular momentum expression about any given point such as O, an exterior point? So, we break this into two systems. One is pure rotation and another is pure translation. That is the idea. Now, how do you do it? The first thing you need to notice here is you should see how object is moving, the translation, the line along which it is moving. Then we reduce the entire mass to a point mass which is located at the center of mass. Here I am showing it with this dot. So, this mass m is translating, but if you see it in the center of mass frame, in the center of mass frame, because the center of mass is moving with the object, there will be only rotation. So, the pure rotation we are indicating here, in center of mass frame the object will be in pure rotation. So, we write the angular momentum expression in both cases and we add them. The important things to note here are, you should make a note of these 2 points. First, identify how object is rotating about center of mass, the sense whether it is clockwise or anti-clockwise, and identify how center of mass is moving. You have to pick the line along which the center of mass is translating. And once you do that, the angular momentum of the object with respect to O is written as the angular momentum for pure rotation, that is in center of mass frame, plus treating the point mass, treating the entire mass to be a point mass and finding its angular momentum about the point O. That means the angular momentum of that point mass with respect to O. So, how do we do it? In pure rotation it is given by I omega, so I center of mass into omega. But in this case we know that angular momentum is r cross p. Do not make a mistake here, it is not p cross r, it is r cross p. R is the position vector drawn from reference point O to the point where the mass is located at that instant, and p is momentum, linear momentum, p bar. You obtain it by multiplying mass with velocity vector. So, m times velocity vector gives you momentum vector. Velocity is in this direction, so momentum is also in this direction. So, r vector p bar is directed this way and r bar is this. How do you take the cross product r cross p? It is r p sin theta. So, let us write it first. So, this will be r p sin theta. How do you get the direction? We take the product r cross v, we curl the fingers towards v and thumb points our direction. Here I have chosen my axis like this, x axis, y axis and z axis is pointing outwards. So, our angular momentum r cross p is directed inwards. So, we have to take minus k cap, but we can reduce this. Sometimes the angle theta between these two might not be given. Let us reduce this by using the perpendicular distance here. If you identify this right angle triangle forming here, r sin theta is this perpendicular distance. So, we can write it this way, r perpendicular into p. P, let us write it as mv. So, r perpendicular into mv minus k cap direction. What is r perpendicular here? The line along which the object is moving, you have to mark that line first and you have to drop the perpendicular from the reference point to that line. That perpendicular distance is r perpendicular. So, angular momentum will be r perpendicular into mv, the magnitude, and the direction is minus k cap. Let us take a look at this. We have omega sense clockwise here. So, if you curl your fingers along this direction, the thumb points the angular momentum vector. So, our angular momentum in this case pure rotation will be I center of mass into omega in the direction inwards. So, minus k cap. So, we have to add these two. This gives us the total angular momentum of the object with respect to O. So, our L is I center of mass omega, because both are minus k cap, I am just adding them, r perpendicular mv in the direction minus k cap. So, this is how you need to write the angular momentum expression correctly. If you make a note of the translation and rotation sense while you approach the problem in the first step, you will avoid the mistakes. So, please keep these things in mind. So, let us write some angular momentum expressions. I am showing 4 cases here. We need to write angular momentum expression for the object about the point O which is on the ground. The first object is translating towards right, but it has a spin backwards. As we see it, it is anti-clockwise. Now, what is the first step? Identify how the center of mass is moving. So, center of mass will move along this horizontal line parallel to the ground. Now, another thing is about center of mass, you should see how the object is rotating. So, that is anti-clockwise sense here. So, make a note of these 2 points first. So, how do you write angular momentum expression now? It is in the center of mass frame, you have to write I omega, that is I center of mass into omega with proper direction. Let us mark the directions here, our Cartesian coordinate system. Let this be x, y and z outwards. So, how is the sense of omega? Curl in that direction, the thumb points the angular momentum vector. So, it is outwards given by k cap. Now, you should see how the center of mass is moving. Entire mass being located at that point, the point mass is moving towards right, and this is the line along which it is translating. So, we can drop a perpendicular to that line, that is our r perpendicular, and that is given by angular momentum will be r perpendicular into mv, r cross p, and the direction is r cross p gives you inward direction. The cross product of these 2 vectors is a vector that is pointing inwards. So, it will be minus k cap. So, this is how you write the angular momentum expression correctly. Now, let us do the same for the second case here. The first thing is the rotation is anti-clockwise and the center of mass is moving along this line horizontal. So, it is I omega sense anti-clockwise and it is pointing outwards. So, k cap plus r perpendicular will be just cross momentum vector. Velocity is pointing towards left. So, momentum will be towards left and you have to curl your fingers towards that direction, turn your fingers towards that direction, not the other direction. This will give you inward direction, that is a wrong result. So, R is pointing upwards, cross P will give you outward. So, R perpendicular MV outwards, so K cap. So, in these two cases, if you observe, the R perpendicular is the radius of the object. So, we can replace this I center of mass omega minus R mv K cap, and here it will be I center of mass omega plus R mv K cap. So, let us write the expression for these two cases also. Here it will be I omega s inwards plus the perpendicular R cross P is also inwards, and I am just writing it capital R because perpendicular distance is radius. Inwards, so minus K cap. So, this will give you minus I center of mass omega minus R mv K cap, and here it will be, sense is clockwise. So, I center of mass omega inwards center of mass is translating towards left and the perpendicular distance is R. So, R mv, R cross P will give you outward sense. So, K cap. So, this will be minus I center of mass omega plus R mv K cap. So, in all of these cases the angular momentum is different, it is not the same. So, let us discuss one important point which is very helpful in solving problems, that is about conservation of angular momentum in the case of a rolling object. Here there is a solid sphere, let us say it is a solid sphere, or it can be any object, spherical object which is able to roll. It may be purely rolling or it may be sliding also in this case. Let us discuss about a general situation. Now, let us see what are the forces acting on this. The weight acts downwards and it will get normal reaction from the ground upwards. The friction may be present, depends on the case, whether it is slipping or not. So, it may be acting forward or backward, depends on the situation. So, there will be a friction acting also. Let us consider that friction is acting. Now, in such a case, only when these forces are acting, these three forces, not any external force. There is no external force acting on the object other than these three. You might have seen some problems that the object will be pulled towards the right or left with an external force capital F. That is not there here. Okay? The object is on its own rolling or rolling with sliding. So, in such a case, let us see what happens to the object's angular momentum about a point on the ground O. Let us see the torques produced by such forces. If the net torque by all the forces is 0, we can say that the angular momentum is conserved about this point. So, let us see how it is possible in this case. First, check whether the friction acts or not. The line of action of the force, the friction, is passing through this point O. Whether it is acting backwards or forwards, the line of action is, it is passing through O. So, it will not have any turning effect. That means it is not producing any torque. So, torque due to friction will always be 0 in this case, about O, the point on the ground. So, that is written here. I am calculating the net torque. So, we have to calculate the torque due to normal reaction mg also here. How do you find torque produced by normal reaction? About this point O, if you drop the perpendicular, the line of action of force is this vertical line. So, drop the perpendicular distance here is x. So, x cross the force normal reaction, it is pointing outwards. The normal reaction has a turning effect anti-clockwise about O. So, the torque produced by normal reaction will be pointing outwards, and the magnitude is perpendicular distance x into the force x into n pointing outwards. Similarly, what is the torque produced by mg? The line of action of force is the same thing, but pointing in downward direction, and the perpendicular distance is still x. So, x cross the force mg, it is downwards. So, you curl your fingers towards downward direction, not upward direction, downward direction, and you get the thumb pointing inwards. So, the torque is inwards, or you can say the sense is clockwise sense. This force has a turning effect clockwise about this point. So, the second expression, the perpendicular distance x into mg, but pointing inwards minus k cap there. So, the net torque, if you see, that is x into n minus mg k cap, but normal reaction is always equal to mg here. So, the net torque will be 0. So, what is the idea about this whole discussion? So, if the torque about this point is 0, the torque acting on the system, our system is this sphere. So, if the torque acting on this sphere about this point is 0, that means you can say the total angular momentum of this system is conserved about the same point. Read this sentence: when net torque on a system due to external forces is 0, the angular momentum of the system remains conserved about that same point. So, when there is no external force, when there are only 3 forces, normal force, the weight and the friction may be present or not, but when only these forces are present, you can safely assume that the angular momentum of the entire object about any point on the ground is conserved. It does not change with time. So, this is a very useful point to solve some problems. Let us discuss a problem. So, let us read the question. Initially, a solid sphere is sliding on the smooth horizontal surface shown here with a velocity v. It is sliding, it has no rotation, it is just sliding on the smooth surface. It is possible. Without friction, it can just slide on the surface. Now, it moves on to the rough surface shown and starts to slide and roll. What is the final velocity of the rolling sphere? Now, what happens here? It was sliding initially. What happens when it hits the rough surface? First of all, let us see what happens here. As soon as it hits the rough surface, it moves on to the rough surface. Now, the body has a tendency to slide. So, if you observe the bottommost point on the object, it has a tendency to move towards right as usual. It was just sliding earlier, moving towards right. So, this point is still trying to move towards right, but here as it hits the rough surface, there is a chance that friction starts to act on this object. So, if the friction is possible in this scenario, how does the friction develop? Friction always tries to oppose the relative motion. So, if this point tries to move towards right, the friction acting on the object will be in opposite direction, acting towards left. So, as soon as it hits the rough surface, it moves on to the rough surface, the friction starts to act on this object pointing towards left. This is the velocity vector for the bottommost point at that instant. Now, what happens if the friction acts in this direction? So, let us see if the friction acts towards left, what happens? Because the force is opposite to the direction of velocity, the velocity of the object gradually decreases. It produces acceleration in the opposite direction and it slows the object down. Let's see what it causes to the object in terms of rotation. So, if you find the perpendicular distance r here, and if you can find the torque acting on the object due to the force, the torque, the turning effect is clockwise. The friction is acting towards left about the center of the object, the torque is now acting in clockwise sense. So, it tends to increase its angular speed. So, gradually the body picks up angular speed in clockwise sense. So, what happens as the friction starts to act, V keeps on decreasing and omega starts to increase. So, this happens until it performs pure rolling eventually. So, V goes on decreasing and omega keeps on increasing, and when we get the condition, the final velocity, when these two match, when the velocity of the objects reduces to such a point that it is matching with the r omega, it performs pure rolling. So, our question is, we have to find the final velocity of the rolling sphere. So, when it starts to roll, we have to calculate that final velocity. Now, we do not see any external force acting on this object, the body is just translating or rotating on its own, like we discussed in the earlier case. So, if you can recall that point, about any point on the ground, think whether the angular momentum is conserved or not. Yes, it is conserved. We have already discussed this case, whether the friction acts or not on this object, and the forces are only normal reaction and mg. When these three forces are present, you can conserve the angular momentum of the object about any point on the ground. So, let us take a point on the ground O, and let us conserve the angular momentum in the initial case and then the final case. So, L initially the object is only sliding, so the angular momentum is given by the rotation aspect as 0, because it has no rotation about center of mass, plus treating this entire mass to be located at center of mass and the point mass to be moving towards right, and the angular momentum due to its translation is r cross p. We have already calculated this as r into mv. We have seen this in earlier case, but clockwise sense. So, this will be minus k cap. So, this is the initial angular momentum of the object about O. Now, let us write the angular momentum for the final case. Now, when it is rolling, let us say the final velocity is v dash and it has angular speed omega. Now, angular momentum about center of mass, that will be I center of mass into omega. Omega is clockwise, so the angular momentum is pointing inwards minus k cap plus the angular momentum for the translation, that is the perpendicular distance, it is still r m v dash, and this is also pointing inwards. So, minus k cap. So, we need to calculate v dash, our final velocity. We know that the angular momentum is conserved. So, let us equate the angular momentum now. So, r m v equals, for solid sphere it is 2 by 5 m r square omega plus r m v dash. But we know that omega is v dash by r because it is performing pure rolling. If you substitute that, r m v is equal to 2 by 5 m r omega is r v dash plus r m v dash. So, it is 7 by 5 m r v dash. So, from this V dash is 5 by 7 of V. So, the final velocity will be 5 by 7 times of the initial velocity.